from FS Securities. We are an education and information firm. We educate our clients to can see how they can pick up signals from the market. Well, every morning I go through what happened overnight and try to forecast what we are likely to see today on our market and the overseas market as well. And if you like the presentation and would you like to share it with other people, that would be great. Anyway, overnight and from around the globe, we start with the Dow. The Dow was down 1.5%, 397 points, wiping out the previous 2 days gain, or most of them. And the S&P 500 was down 1%, and the Nasdaq was down 0.9%, 89 points. And in Europe, the Stoxx 50 index, which comprises most major European markets, was down 0.9%. And in London, the FTSE 100 index was down 1.5%. In Germany, the DAX was down 0.9%. In Japan, the Nikkei index was down 0.4% overnight. And in China, the Shanghai index was up 0.6%. After the huge gain it did have the day before. On our market yesterday, we've seen the market was steady, down 1.7 points. By the way, it was really up much higher in the beginning and fizzled out at the end of the day. And remember, the day before was down 43 points. So over the last 3 trading days, we are in the negative. The futures is showing 30 points decline at the start of trading. Gold zoomed up above the 1800, closing at 1,807 US per ounce, $14 higher. And silver was up 3 cents. And by the way, that's compared to the previous night. But when you look at what happened yesterday morning, it's almost steady. And Brent crude oil, $42.93, down a bit from the day before. West Texas crude oil, $40.49, slightly down. And soybeans, 901, slightly down. And the Australian dollar versus the US, slightly down from yesterday morning, will give you 61.6 euro cents and 55.4 British pence. And iron ore price, by the way, was up 1.7% to $103.01 US per ton. And Bitcoin, for those who follow Bitcoin this morning at 9,245 US, down 90 US overnight. And that what converts to approximately 13,310 Australian dollars, down 70 Australian dollars overnight. Now looking at the charts, this is the Dow, the weekly and the daily. I mentioned several times before that we're likely to see the Dow hovering between the 61.8 retracement from the high that we've seen, that all-time high of 29,568, never got up to 30,000, by the way. And then in March it dropped all the way down and to 18,261, and managed to regain all the way up to 61.8% of the retracement from high to low, 61% up, and really hovered higher. And we thought that would probably go up to 29,000, the previous high. But now it fizzled out and at the moment is trading around this area. Looking at the indicators, the stochastic is bearish, the parabolic stop and reverse bullish, and the 9 week is almost steady with the 21 week. That's almost neutral. We can see here a neutral aid for from the indicators. But however, looking at the daily, parabolic stop and reverse bullish, stochastic bullish, the 9-day above the 21-day moving average, bullish, and is trying to break through the 200-day moving average. Went to try once and down. We think that the 21-day moving average will present a support, and maybe the 200-day moving average will be a resistance. Once it breaks and closes above the 200-day moving average, well, I don't think anything will stop it, and will go all the way back to 29,000. Hopefully, well, at least in the mind of Donald Trump, it will go up to 29,000 before the election in November. Look at our market, again retracing all the way from the high to the low, gaining 50% of the retracement, and now is hovering between the 50% retracement and 61.8. So resistance would be 60,140, support 5,800, and at the moment it is trading somewhere below the 6,100. Okay, that's the daily chart. You can see that the parabolic stop and reverse is bullish. The stochastic dropped slightly below the 80% line. It's looking like that is actually bearish. The 21-day moving average is above the 21. The 9-day is above the 21. That's bullish. The candles happen to be in this area in the Bollinger Bands, where you got 2 standard deviation above the 21 moving average and 2 standard deviation below the 21-day moving average. And what we can see here is that the last candle, it opened where it closed. However, it went all the way up, gaining for the day. However, it could not support that rise, and we had some bad indicators, and then we had the Reserve Bank indicating that the 0.25% for the cash rate will remain, and the market decided to drop in the afternoon. So again, you got to be very cautious when it comes to the indices. Now, looking at the Dow, that's the weekly. We don't touch it for every week. That's done one weekly, and then stays all week with those recommendations. However, the daily can change on a daily basis. So we started the week same as the weekly, with bullish for the very aggressive, and then we ended up bullish for 2 days, even this morning, with despite the drop in the Dow, we're still seeing all the indicators showing for the conservative, aggressive trader and very aggressive traders can remain bullish, continue to be bullish. Okay, now in terms of the Nasdaq, very strongly bullish. The S&P 500, very strongly bullish. Gold, very bullish. We were bullish at the beginning of the week. We had a slight change for the conservative trader, but then really went back up. The indicators changed down and up for the conservative trader. However, remained bullish for the investor and for the very aggressive trader. Crude oil, very consistently bullish for all the traders. Now the Australian dollar appears to be bullish, continues to be bullish. However, for the investor, we started the week with neutral, bullish, and we changed to neutral for the long-term investor. And by the way, that presentation will be on the website shortly. In terms of the stocks, this is the daily indicators. We are bullish for the XJO, despite the steady trade yesterday. ANZ, bullish for the very aggressive trader, but we turned neutral for the conservative trader. BHP, strongly bullish. CBA bullish with the exception of the investor. Macquarie Bank bullish, we remain bullish for a few days, even though we dropped 0.8% yesterday. NAB neutral, Newcrest Mines bullish. We've seen the market went up by 2.5% yesterday at the end of the trade, and the indicators continue to be bullish right through. In terms of Telstra, we also bullish for Telstra, and we've had 2 good days of trades for Telstra on the bullish side. Wesfarmers, again bullish. We started the week with bearish on Wesfarmers, and we changed on yesterday morning, and this morning we continue to be bullish. Woodside Petroleum, we were actually bullish for the very aggressive and bearish for the investor, and now we are bearish for all our clients. Now looking at the volume was high yesterday, 4.2 billion, and we had the declines exceeding the advances. On the last 5 days, despite yesterday movement, we can see that the advances continue to exceed the declines. Yesterday, Fortescue Mine was up 6.3%. QBE was up 3%. Alumina 3%, and all of these companies had good rises, with all the way up to maybe A2 Milk 1.2% higher. Do we see A2 Milk here? No, we don't. That's the day before. Mesoblast, we don't see it again. Qantas, not 2 days in a row. Again, it's important to see which stock has actually risen 2 days in a row. Alright, well, announcement today, we've got nothing on the Australian market. However, for America tonight, we have the crude oil inventories. It looks like the inventories, the forecast is 3.2 million barrel decline, so that should really push the price up. But anyway, we'll see what the inventories will be tonight. This is last week. And consumer credit as well, month on month. $15.2 billion decline in consumer credit. People are not borrowing. And results in Europe, the retail sales was better than expected. PMI slightly better than expected. Non-manufacturing PMI much better than expected. And yesterday, ARG Services Index 31.5. Cash rate remain at 0.25%. And job opening was better than expected as well. Now every day we scan the market for volume to see which stock has exceeded the volume and had a rise or a decline. For the top 50 up here, so QBE had a rise of 3% yesterday, and look at the volume from 7 million transaction, that's the average volume per day. Well, yesterday had nearly 15 million, nearly twice as much as the volume. So we might have a look at QBE. Telstra had a slight increase in the price and slightly increase in the volume. I wouldn't worry about it too much. On the downside, Qantas down 3.4%, and the volume was up 30%. Sydney Airport, the same situation. Obviously, not many people will be traveling. For the mid cap, Money3. By the way, Money3 is a company that we are trading for some of our clients. Was up 1.4% and the volume was 30% higher. Mayne Pharma was 1.2% higher in the price and slightly higher in the volume. And again, this appears to be 2 days in a row. So when we see a company performing well 2 days in a row, it gives us some incentive to continue to trade it or to increase the trade that we have. On the downside, this company Perenti, I'm not aware of it. Monadelphous, yes, I am aware of this company, 4% down. Virtuous Health, these by the way are for the very aggressive trader. And our CFD trading, ANZ Bank, we are down $78. Mayne Pharma, we were down $200, we're now down only $75. Paladin up $16, and Zip down $98. So we overall down $235. The day before we were up $90. Okay, the disclaimer, everything we said today is only for general advice only. Before you trade, please consult with us or with your professional advisor. Remember, there is risk in trading, and again, you need to understand your risk appetite before you trade. Are you a conservative trader or an investor? You need to know. If you have any questions, all you have to ask, these are our details. You can write to me at George@FS. FS stands for full service. George@fssecurities.com.au. You can always visit our website, and you can also send me a text on my mobile or call me on my mobile. If you're ringing from overseas, it's 61, the country code, and you don't need the 0. 61-411-25-9526, and you're ringing locally on my mobile 0411-25-9526. Happy trading, and I hope you make some money today.